I blame it all on my dad. It was my dad who once noted in my adolescence that I never just like something, I obsess over it. If I found a book, TV show, or character from a film, that became my new focus for that time. I can pinpoint almost any stage of my life and remember what was my then obsession, and there have been many to dive back into. The only one that has remained constant, though, is the music of Queen. I was around 8 years old, and most 8-year-olds don't really have their own tastes in music. Despite this, my music teacher at the time decided we should make a project entitled My Favourite Band. I went home in a state because, as I said to my mother, I didn't have a favourite band. Of course there were songs I liked, but no specific group I could look upon as my absolute idols. At the time, a band called McFly had released a cover of Don't Stop Me Now. I loved the song, it was catchy, it was fun, but my dad maintained that the original was better. So when it came to decide upon my favourite band, my dad basically decided for me. My project would be on Queen. At first I was relatively impartial. They were the band that did We Are the Champions and the dumb song about bicycles, but that was my only knowledge of them. I knew they weren't around anymore and that the lead singer had died long before I was born. Dad stuck on Don't Stop Me Now, the original. I loved it, obviously, I already loved the song, but it was odd to hear another version. But it was something I could sing along to and enjoy. Then he played Bohemian Rhapsody. I'd love to tell you that I had a grand epiphany, and that after hearing that orchestral masterpiece, I suddenly decided that yes, Queen were my favourite band. I sat through the whole song and didn't get it. But seriously, say an 8-year-old through a 6-minute prog rock song, they're probably going to be a bit confused. I demanded that Dad replay Don't Stop Me Now and place me back into the more familiar songs I was used to. Dad maintained that Bohemian Rhapsody was a brilliant song, and maybe I just needed to try again. He lent me a copy of Greatest Hits and my sister's old CD player, which, even by 2005 standards, was an obsolete piece of technology. I still have Greatest Hits. It's been 12 years and I still haven't given it back to my dad. I essentially devoured the album. I remember the first time listening to Killer Queen, the first time hearing Somebody to Love. The next Christmas I asked for the next 2 Greatest Hits collections, and for the next year almost exclusively listened to Queen's catalogue of hits. As a teenager, at the pressure of cool girls with different music tastes, I did diversify my listening. I would now say I have an extensive taste in music, many different genres, different time periods and different artists. I tried to learn the electric guitar, and at 15 bought a red Ibanez, simply because it looked vaguely similar to the one owned by Brian May. I got into new bands and again found new obsessions, but despite this I've always maintained that Queen are my favourite band. It's still something I never really question. Certain musicians I can only listen to when I'm in a good mood, when I'm feeling happy, or when I'm feeling particularly low. But I am always in the mood for Queen. With 20 years of mainstream success, I feel there's a Queen song for every day, every single mood, and they have been a constant soundtrack to some of my best and worst days. Queen have been there for me throughout my life, and I still haven't got bored of their music. As Freddie Mercury once sang, "I am immortal, I have inside me blood of kings, I have no rival, no man can be my equal." They said it themselves. To me, they will never be bettered.